Did I read that right? Did Kaido just say he has a son? What's up, YouTubers of the world? MegaGeekMixer here, ready to bring you guys my review on this week's chapter of One Piece. Crazy chapter, guys. So many stuff going around here. You got those Straw Hats doing their usual antic things, but we see here that it's great to have people who can actually strategize and know what to do with those who can't strategize. But I think the biggest shocker for me came, and I'm sure for a lot of people came, was what we heard Kaido saying. Kaido saying he has a son who's supposed to be here at the party going on in Onigashima. I really don't even know where to begin with that one. But since we are just going to say that's the biggest shocker of them all, we got to start off with this one here because this one's just crazy. But before doing that, must say, nice chapter that gave us a multiple balance of things here. First off with Luffy and his crew, then Law and the Wano Rebellion going on, and then seeing a little bit of what's to come for the Beast Pirates and the other side of the war. But now, going into Kaido's son. So, Kaido has a son, which it's pretty clear that Wano don't know about that. It seems though his pirates do, his crew does. So that can't be a shocker there. But who is his son? And here's another thing: if he really does have a son, is his son like him, able to not die or anything? That would definitely be a shocker right there, guys, because I could just imagine it, or better yet, imagine that he has a devil fruit too that's just similar to his, or better yet, maybe his is more not like Eastern Dragon like, but maybe Western Dragon like, with the whole wings, the claws, and breathe fire and everything. Of course, Kaido breathes fire too, so who knows on that end. But hey, I mean, we've already seen a dragon before back in Punk Hazard. If you guys remember that dragon that Zoro slayed there, yeah, maybe a dragon like that. Hey, I wouldn't be against that. I mean, we got that Eastern Dragon that Kaido is, and have a dragon just like the one in Punk Hazard. Maybe not look like him, but still similar. Wings, giant mouth, claws, everything right there. But also, we can get introduced to, well, not fully, but surely, we got the flying headliners, the 6 flying headliners, or is it more like flying 6 headliners, I think is what it's called. If you guys don't remember them, basically we saw 2 of them. Basically, you guys know how in the Beast Pirates there are the gifters, the pleasanters and stuff like that, and the ones who control all those groups are the headliners, and Basil Hawkins is one of those headliners, except there are a lot of headliners, but there are 6 among them that are the strongest of them and the leaders of them all. And X Drake and a guy named Page One are a member of that group. And the thing is about those 2 is both of them have ancient devil fruit powers of dinosaurs. X Drake has the Allosaurus, and then Page One has the Spinosaurus. So that means there are 4 others here we are now being introduced to, who no doubt they have got to have the devil fruits of ancient dinosaurs as well. Like, I'm thinking maybe a Triceratops, a Tyrannosaurus Rex, what was that one? Oh yeah, a Velociraptor. Well, what else could we have here? Stegosaurus? Yeah, Stegosaurus. Maybe those are the 4 that are left. I don't know. Now, I saw with the feet they were shown, when we saw their feet, we see here that there's a female among them, and you can probably tell X Drake's legs there. I don't remember much on Page One's legs, but just by looking at their feet, you can't really give too much out on them, but still, it's nice to see it there, and you gotta help but wonder what their devil fruits are. Are they all dinosaurs, and could they be the ones I mentioned? If they are, that would be really something. I'm telling you, it'd be like saying we got a Jurassic Park of devil fruit users here. Yeah, that's what we call them. A Jurassic Park of devil fruit users. And we kind of already got that in the form of King, who has the Pteranodon fruit, and then Queen, who has the Brachiosaurus fruit. And let's just keep them coming, guys, because if there's one thing I like about the Beast Pirates, it's that they all have animal devil fruit powers, and to see how some of them are mythical and ancient zones just makes it all the more interesting. But now that we've all put that out of the way, let's go ahead and move on. Oh, and by the way, those six liners are here because they're supposed to be meeting Big Mom, who is working on her kimono at the moment. But now, going on into other stuff, let's go on into, first off, why Law is such a great ally to have around, especially when dealing with some allies who are just a bunch of pig-headed, or better yet, let me put it this way, or as Law put it, two big idiots. And by that, he's talking about the other two of the captain trio from the archipelago, Shambodi Archipelago, that being Luffy and Eustace Kid. And you guys know Luffy and the Straw Hats, or better yet, Luffy himself. He doesn't care about problems. He just plows right through them, being like, who cares what the problem is? I can just punch it through and it'll all be over and done like that. And that's how he's always lived, really. But hey, even his crew has sometimes had to try to hold him down just to strategize, but for the most part, that never works out. And yeah, same goes for Eustace Kid, because that's exactly what they did here. Once they made it to the entrance of Onigashima, they were all like saying, Luffy and the others were all ready to start beating the crap out of people, and they did, as they took out some of the guards that were there, which, by the way, was very funny to see how it was just Luffy, Jinbei, pretty much all of everyone except what they are known as the weakling trio, that being Nami, Usopp, and Chopper. They were the only ones that were not part of the beatdown of the guards who were at the entrance of Onigashima right there. And it was funny to see that, because I always, even though they are known as the weakling trio, the way they just always sometimes try to join in after the battle's over, it just makes me laugh and just makes me want to have a good time seeing that. But that's still not to say they don't know how to fight themselves. Chopper, Nami, and Usopp, they have their own different ways of fighting, just not the full front thing, which is basically why they're the two guys who prefer to strategize, but not to the extent of Law. Because here's the thing, as Kinemon was discussing the plan, once again, Denjiro, who's always thinking Kinemon is such a genius with everything, and thinking that he just has it all up in his head and is such a brilliant leader. And you know, sort of, since Denjiro's kind of reminding me of those Impel Down people who always overhype Buggy and thinking they know what he's doing and stuff. But no, that's not it. Because Kinemon, he did have the plan, and that plan was pretty much the plan, but he forgot about Kanjuro now being revealed to be the spy, so Denjiro believes that Kinemon actually now is going to reveal the real plan, but he doesn't have the real plan, because the plan he had was the plan, and that was the plan that Kanjuro was going to discuss with Orochi. But this is where, again, why Law is... It's a good thing Law is here to lead them and have a better strategy set for them. Because, like I said, he's worked with Straw Hat Luffy, and while he hasn't worked with Eustace Kid, he can see just by how Luffy and Kid talk with each other that they're just a bunch of blundering idiots who just do what they want and don't even really strategize. But that's where he decides to take it to their advantage. And that's the perfect plan right there. Law, you are a genius. Take those two idiots, let them be the distraction, while you and the Wano Rebellion make the real move. And as a matter of fact, the real plan finally allows us to see the geography of Onigashima. Now, as we all know, we already know what Onigashima looks like, but we never exactly got the map layout of it. And now we finally got it, and they revealed to us here that it actually has mountains all around it, and that inside that Skull Mountain Ridge, there's a castle, which is very interesting right there. And it turns out there's also actually actually a secret passage behind that mountain ridge of the skull there, but also there's whirlpools and stuff that are surrounding it. And basically the plan is to get pretty much the samurai all split up into one group, so because they're basically trying to get the 9 red scabbards in there so they can attack Kaido while he's drunk. And their plan is to split up on 2 different sides so they can sneak into that secret passage. But while that is a good plan, you can't deny that, some of y'all can't deny that Kaido has got to know about this secret passage. I mean, he's lived over in Wano for many years now. There's no way he can't know about it. There's no way at all. But since there has been a silent rebellion going on in Wano for years, for so many years and stuff, maybe they found a way to keep it hidden from them. But I highly doubt it. But you never know. I mean, look at back in Star Wars and how they were able to construct the Death Star to where it could have a fatal weakness that's so small, but the Empire wouldn't be able to notice it. So maybe it can be something like that. I don't know. But what I do know is that first off, what the Straw Hats did and knocking out those guards inside the front gate, that made things advance their plans a little more, which is good and all. But even still, though, you gotta be careful. Even if they may have knocked those guys out, there's no way this isn't gonna be easy. And yeah, Luffy thinking he'll just be able to plow right through. I can see him becoming a prisoner again at this point. But then again, maybe not. And by the way, why don't we go ahead and get on into the last part of I want to talk about, and that was with the fact that, as we all know, in last chapter, Jinbei returned, and yeah, in this chapter at the beginning, we see the Straw Hats are all happies and smiles, and when you see that first panel of them all hugging Jinbei, all their reactions and stuff, you can't help but be like happy and stuff for them, because this once again shows why the Straw Hat crew is the protagonist of the series. Each of them had their own different sets of personality, and they all just fit with each other. And yeah, we're already seeing Jinbei fits right in. The way he's expressing everything and the way he's communicating with people. Now, we didn't see much of it, but just those few panels of how his expressions are shows that he's going to fit right in with this crew here. But what I found funny here was that Luffy was saying we all need to throw a banquet to celebrate Jinbei's joining the crew. We need some alcohol. And this is where Zoro mentioned, while they know they didn't have alcohol, this is where Zoro says he knows there's alcohol nearby. He knows booze is nearby. And that's so weird and stuff. And it turned out to be true, because when they raided and knocked out all those guards, he found it. And he was like, I told you, it was nearby. I could smell it. I knew it was here. It's funny how he's so bad with directions, but when it's something he wants, he finds it instantly. Kind of like his sword. I'm starting to think his hockey allows him to be able to find objects of his desire. That's just a guess though, but a very funny one, might I add. But when they were gonna at first do the banquet, Luffy decided to hold it off and say, no, we should save this for when we have the big, giant, humongous banquet. And basically saying what always goes on in the end of every big battle of every arc, where the Straw Hats, after a big giant battle, they're all celebrating in some way. They're all having a banquet of sorts, just like in Alabasta after they beat Crocodile, in East Lobby after they beat it CP9, so on and so forth. All celebrations everywhere. The biggest one right now had to have been Dressrosa, because that was not just them beating Doflamingo, but also the formation of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. Oh, and speaking of which, Jinbei mentioned about how he was late because he was treating the wounds of the Sun Pirate, and they also had a party to celebrate his departure. It's good to know. But hey, it's good to know that the Sun Pirates are okay, and I hope we see them later on in the future, and that they will become a member of the Straw Hats Grand Fleet. I'm hoping for that, big time. But definitely, guys, an amazing chapter, and such a surprise at the end there. Kaido, you have a son? You have a son? Now I'm dying to know what your son looks like, and does he have a devil fruit just like yours, or similar to yours, just being a different dragon, not you, the type of dragon you have. Oh, I just can't wait to find that out. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it all right there. And hey, if you're enjoying my videos, all you got to do is click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified when I make more videos. And until then, MegaGeekMixer signing out. Bye.